Hello friends, in this video we will learn what stored procedures are, why they are used and how to create and use them in MySQL. So what is a stored procedure? A stored procedure is a pre-compiled set of SQL statements that are stored in a database server and can be executed with a single command. Stored procedures can accept input parameters, return output parameters, and use flow control statements like if else, loops, and try catch. Stored procedures are often used to encapsulate business logic and complex queries, making it easier to manage and reuse the code. So, why should we use stored procedures? Stored procedures offer several benefits, including reusability. Stored procedures can be called from anywhere in the application, reducing code duplication and promoting consistency. And one more reason is performance. Since stored procedures are pre-compiled, they can be executed faster than ad hoc SQL queries. Another reason is security. Stored procedures can be used to limit access to sensitive data by only allowing authorized users to execute them. Stored procedures can be version controlled and updated without changing the application code. Let us now look how to create a stored procedure in MySQL database. To create a stored procedure in MySQL, you can use create procedure statement. For example, to create a procedure that counts number of customers, we need to use create procedure and the procedure name count customers. Begin select count of star the statement that gives the count of customers from customers table. End. In this example, the store procedure is named as count customers and this procedure returns the count of all customers from the customers table. Let me run this query. Okay, we have an error saying, let me copy the response code and then paste it here. Check that manual corresponds to your MySQL query version for the right syntax to use near line 3. Okay, so this error usually occurs when there is a syntax error in the code. In this case, the error is occurring because the create procedure statement is not terminated correctly. It is missing the delimiter statement to indicate the end of create procedure statement. So to correct this code, we will introduce delimiter. So instead of semicolon, we are giving delimiter as this. So here what's happening is the delimiter statement is used to temporarily change the delimiter from which is usually semicolon to this one double slash in this case. So this allows create procedure statement to be terminated currently with delimiter as this instead of normal semicolon which is used to terminate regular SQL statements. At the end we will add one more delimiter to reset it. So to reset the delimiter, and one more statement here delimiter semicolon. Okay, now let's run this query and see the output. Okay, now the query runs successfully. Now that we have created a procedure that gives us the count of customers, let's see how to use the stored procedure. So to use a stored procedure in MySQL, you can simply call it by name. Here is an example of calling the count customers stored procedure. Call stored procedure name, that is count customers. Select the query and execute. So this procedure returns the count of customers, that is 6. Though we have not written any query, we just call the count customer stored procedure. Let's look into another example where the stored procedure accepts the input parameters. Stored procedures can also accept the input parameters, allowing you to create reusable code that can be customized based on the input. Here is an example of stored procedure that accepts a parameter for the customer ID and returns the customer name. So I'm going to edit the same stored procedure that we used to create count customers. I'm going to rename this stored procedure as get customer name. So inside the parentheses, we will give the input parameter in customer ID. The customer ID data type is int, so just give the int. So inside the begin, we need to provide the actual statement. So to get the name from the customer's table, we need to select name from the customer's table. So let's look into the column names. Here we have customer name, customer underscore name as the column field name, customer underscore name from customers where id is equal to customer id. So in this example, stored procedure is named get customer name. May remove this one. So we have named this procedure as get customer name and accepts input parameter customer id int. When called, it returns the name of the customer with the specific id. Let me run this procedure. So the query executed successfully. So to conclude, stored procedures can help simplify and optimize your database queries. They can be used to encapsulate business logic, improve performance, and enhance security. By understanding how to create and use stored procedures in MySQL, you can become more efficient and effective developer.